Welcome to the Lightworker Podcast. I am your host, Natalie Grant. I am a lightworker, a meditation facilitator, Reiki master, and a health and wellness enthusiast who thrives on helping people. Connection is my superpower, and I just love bringing people to a space where transformation can occur. Are you looking for information on being a lightworker? Are you a lightworker and just love collecting knowledge from other lightworkers? Then this is exactly where you need to be right now. Spirit has brought you here for a reason, and my hope is that this podcast will offer some new information and insights that will help you on your journey. I am here to help you connect and grow on your true path as a lightworker.
Confused or overwhelmed, you would then look at your ajna. Yep. It goes through all the different centers, and so your head center is undefined. And if you can be feeling aligned with this or in the shadow of that. So, in the reports, it would take so long for me to go through all of this with you. So
I will read it later. Yes. Give me the gloss over.
So if you're in the shadow of your undefined head, it can feel like an overstuffed room of other people's questions and expectations. You might be caught in loops of overthinking, trying to solve problems that aren't even yours to carry. Yes. So that is part of your undefined head. So the key to embracing that is to treat your mind like a sacred guest house. Allow ideas to visit, but don't let them move in.
Absolutely.
Ask yourself, is this my question to answer? Mm-hmm. It's like you talk all the time. Is this even mine?
Yeah.
When you've got an undefined center, I can guarantee you it's not.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's not yours.
And it's funny because that is one of the questions that I, get people to start asking themselves early on in the training, because they got to know if what's being offered in the thought field is actually a you thought, or whether it's coming from someone else.
Yes.
And I wonder, because that could be an interesting thing, because I've always taught it that way because that's my experience. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it would be like for a defined head person, whether they even have thoughts pop in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
how that would work.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, Ben has a defined head, so
I could probably ask him. Yeah. Because you know how something happens, you get triggered or whatever, then all of a sudden just the mental space just becomes like a chatterfest.
Yeah.
That's my experience. It might not be everybody's experience, but when it becomes that chatterfest, the only way to sort of manage that is what I've learned through doing Reiki, is to come into the present moment, breathe, and ask a question.
Yeah.
To kind of find what your truth is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yes.
Because in that moment when everything goes haywire, or all the offers start coming in like an avalanche, it just puts you in overwhelm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yes, absolutely it does.
And to learn how to manage that.
Clients that I have spoken with are like, they can have those moments, but they very quickly
sort it out. Yeah, okay, cool.
They come out of it a lot quickly, and then a lot more quick. But you also can look at these little numbers that are inside the centers, and they are called your gates. And
so that's the things that are attached to those lines.
Exactly.
On the thing, so that's a gate.
Yes.
All right.
So if it's not fully connected to another center, it's called a hanging gate. If it's fully connected to another center, it's called a channel.
Right.
But I know that you have the 64 gate.
Okay.
And so if we then go to the 64 in this, so there is energy there that is for you. Even though you've got an undefined head, there is energy of this gate that will show up for you. Not constantly or all the time, but it will show up for you. And it is the gate of confusion.
Of course it is.
So the shadow, I've got in all of my reports, I actually worked from Richard Rudd's book, The Gene Keys, for the gates. So Ra Uruhu's version of the gates, me personally, this is my own thoughts, but I find them quite linear, I guess. They're more of the mechanics of it all, whereas Richard Rudd, he was a student of Ra, and he then almost elaborated and expressed more on the gates and called them the gene keys, and he gives you more of an experience. It's almost like the multi-dimensional version of it. So Ra's is, very linear and mechanical, whereas Richard Rudd brings in this contemplation and realizes that in those gates, you can be in a completely different timeline or dimension of each gate. And there is a shadow, and there's a repressive, and there's a reactive part of the shadow. And then there is your gift, and then there is your siddhi, which is the sort of highest frequency version of that gate.
Okay. So the siddhi is the highest frequency version of the gate.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I've never met anybody who is consistently in that. We will feel parts of all.
I was going to say, when are we ever consistently in anything?
Exactly, that's it.
We're always flowing.
Yes, that's exactly right. And so your gate 64 in your open head, the shadow is confusion, the repressive nature is imitating, the reactive nature.
I used to do that all the time when I was a kid.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd try and walk like people even, or change the way I spoke. I remember doing it.
Yes, there you go.
Like you'd talk to an American and then you'd have an American accent.
Yes.
Or you'd talk to an English person and you'd have an English accent.
Yes.
Bizarre.
Yep, that's it. And we are constantly learning. So as children, you are learning the different expressions of each of these.
Yeah, and then to learn something, for me, I have to see someone do it, and then I can just copy it.
Yes, that's right. I'm very much like that too.
Really interesting.
Yes. And so the gift of Gate 64 is imagination. I will just read this to you.
I have a fabulous imagination.
There you go. So, and I know we did speak on this earlier, but something that I have found super important to know is that the words that are used as the gates and as the gene keys are sometimes nothing like what you interpret them to be. So if you do your gene keys and read, the shadow, the gift, and the siddhi, and they're words that trigger you, or they're words that you don't fully understand, you could have a completely different understanding of what that means as to what Richard's interpretation was. So actually understanding and knowing his interpretation has been game changer for me.
For you?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I would think that a word is, he has a really beautiful and poetic way of explaining it, and it really, for me, it sinks in deep, and it really does resonate. So understanding, and that's why when I've done my reports, I have worked from his book, trying to some of the gene keys are 10 pages long. So to really condense that information has been interesting, but I've gotten there. And so I'll read the gift of imagination.
Yeah, okay.
So all natural energy or life force has one inbuilt program: to grow and evolve. This is the nature of life. Thus, when you release the quantum energy that was latent inside you, it begins to rise. As it rises, the evolutionary force takes hold of your mind and begins to paint with it. This is how true creativity is born, and the human imagination is unleashed. It is the spaciousness between thoughts where insights are born. This gift allows you to hold the unknown with grace, trusting that clarity will arrive in its own timing. Through imagination, your mind becomes a vessel for symbolic, poetic, and intuitive understanding. You no longer force understanding, You allow inspiration to rise from the mystery.
It's true. It is true, because whenever I've tried to operate other than that, you just keep getting sledgehammers.
Yes. 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 And sometimes you need the sledgehammers to remind you where to bring yourself back to.
Yeah.
Back to imagination.
Yeah.
These have been really good words that I've worked with. If I know that something's been coming up for me, I'll write the gift word down and stick it on my mirror.
Okay.
Just so I can constantly
look at
that and be reminded of what I am trying to transform, trying to create. It's been super helpful. But this, like yesterday, for example, I just did a little work with myself. I pulled some cards. The cards were really amazing. They were exactly what I know and where I want to be. But there's just been this struggle with really embodying that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat with my pendulum and I just said, okay, I know these cards to be true. Do I have conditioning here that I need to work with to be able to fully step into those roles and be that? And worked with my pendulum. Yes, there is definitely conditioning there. Right. Okay. And so I ended up going through each of my centers and then the gate in that center when the pendulum would say, and it led me straight to exactly where I knew it was going to go.
Interesting.
But it is that worthiness piece. It's that I'm enough. I know enough to be able to do this. I'm a 512. I'm an investigator. So I feel like I don't have to know everything before I start to share.
Yeah.
This is something that is inside of me and is trying to come out. So what we said earlier, I just need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Let the information come out.
in.
It's there. It's all there. It just needs to, I need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because I know enough without even knowing enough. I know enough.
Well, you know enough to take the first steps.
Yes.
I know that's kind of how I've rolled with this whole thing. It's like, if it's a marathon, not a sprint, that you don't have to have everything figured out right now. But all you have to do is figure out whatever the next step is.
Yeah.
It definitely makes it easier.
Yes.
To look at it like that.
Yes.
And having that trust and faith in that when you're walking in that direction and you're just doing one thing every day, eventually you look back and you see where you got and you're like, wow. And if you hadn't have started, you wouldn't be able to look back and go, wow.
No, exactly. And the more you talk to people, the more you learn, the more you know.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, with my path with Light of Wellness, it's been like I see myself as a spiritual scientist where I'm actually just collating a whole bunch of data.
Yeah.
Lived experience. And lived experience in communicating with other people and hearing their first-hand stories. And after a while, after you've done that for a while, you actually have a bank of knowledge. And I mean, in the beginning, it was you had to overcome that whole, I'm going to have to hold space for someone, right? Which means like facilitate a Reiki session.
Yeah.
And then that comes with its own challenges because then you've got to deal with the inner critic that's telling you how you're not good enough to be able to do that and all the rest of it. But when you can work on that first step of getting that out of the way and you just do it and you start collating the data on that, and then you do, it's like rinse and repeat, and then you're collating more data, and then some people's stories link up, and then there's patterns. I mean, I have this uncanny way of seeing patterns. And, after a while, you start realizing, actually, I've got something here I'm looking at that anyone who hasn't done that for a job doesn't have that data.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when somebody wants to question you on your data, you can stand in full faith and knowing that you know what's true for you. Because they haven't had the lived, known, felt experience that you have.
Yeah.
So they couldn't possibly know what you know. Then the challenge is to allow them to have their judgment and criticism from a place of unknowing. You know?
Yes. Being okay with that.
Being okay that other people just don't know what your particular path has led you to know. And how quick and easy it is for somebody to just judge that without really knowing. And then being able to see in yourself how you used to do that. And that's why you're noticing it now.
Yes.
You know? It's fascinating how now, so just get started, because anything that's holding you back from wherever you're going, that's the first step.
Yes. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Exactly. The fear is the signpost saying, this is the
This
way,
is the
people.
way. I remember you saying that to me years ago when I learned my Reiki. I was like, I'm never working with people. I only want to work in spaces and with homes and clearing energy. I pick up on frequency. That's my thing. Never working with people. And you said to me then, this was years ago, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. Like, no. And look at me now. It is because I have found, and I use my Reiki, I use my pendulum.
We use all the tools we collate.
use all the tools. Also, 9 years ago, I did my hypnotherapy and NLP. Right. So, I'm like, I can use this too. When people are when they have conditioning, I am going to be able to take them through a hypnotherapy session of deconditioning from those things that are holding them back. It's all coming together, and it's just so beautiful.
Isn't it amazing? And this is that whole, now you can sit from where you are now and look back along your timeline, go and actually have some clarity around some of the harebrained things that you've done.
Yes, my husband will be stoked. He'll be like, oh, you're going to use that now.
Finally.
Yeah,
isn't it funny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, you've been in this a long time, so I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it? What was the catalyst that got you to be curious about the alternate spiritual space?
Okay. Well, I grew up in a really, really strict Christian home, and so had the really structured religious side of spirituality that I grew up with. And when I was 16, I knew in my body that was not for me, so went against it. And my family were the only people that stuck with me. I lost every single one of my childhood friends, every single person I had known, pretty much. Wow. So went against that, and obviously then I went completely against God.
Yeah.
God is not real. God is not interested.
It had the big pendulum swing.
Huge, which it had to. I mean, the polarity of going from it was pretty much a cult. So going from a cult, I had to swing back that complete opposite way.
Yeah.
And then I guess I always had a piece of it within me, just like, no, you have done these things. You have spoken in tongues. You have done these religious things. You can say it's not real, but it happened.
It was part of your experience.
Yes, it was part of my experience. So I think the pendulum really slowly started to come down. For years and years and years and years, though, I could never call source, or I used to call Mother Earth, the universe. It was never God.
Yeah, okay.
Because of that.
Yeah.
But now I listened to a really great podcast, and they call it GUS, God, Universe, Source.
I like that. Let's call it GUS.
So
I've never heard that.
Yes,
really?
Yes. So I love it. I'm
GUS.
like, it's GUS. It's all encompassing. But I started then. So when I was probably 19, I realized that there were some severe conditions from my childhood, severe sort of belief systems that I really needed to work with. So a friend got me onto a kinesiologist when I was about 19. So from there, I have slowly come through it all, just knowing that there is more than just this. There is more. Yeah. I speak to it all the time. It's there. I can't deny it. So I'm going to figure out what it is for me.
Yeah.
Not what I was told as a child it is.
Yes.
So I have slowly figured that out, and I honestly have I'm more in tune with Gus and myself, knowing that it is within me. We are all one. Everything is one. And I think that was probably the hard part. Growing up believing that God was outside of me, and it took that long, probably maybe 20 years even, to really be able to bring it in and truly understand and know and embody that we're all one.
Yeah.
God is not outside of me.
No.
It's within this. And so it is just, life is now pretty much constant awareness of conditions and beliefs that they don't work for me anymore. So I need to figure out what does work for me, and responding to things and following those breadcrumbs is what has brought me here. And I have never felt this before. It is just, it's enlightening. It's beautiful. It just feels calm. It's so beautiful.
Without resistance.
Yes.
It is a good way to describe it.
Mm.
Without fear.
Yeah. And having the fear, but doing it anyway.
Well, yeah. So I see the fear as an indicator it needs my attention.
Yes. Yes.
And a bit like what you've described, I need to feel through it.
Yes.
To figure out what it is it's trying to teach me.
Mm.
And once I can figure out the lesson,
yeah,
then I can take action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the gene keys is also a beautiful way to do that. Richard Rudd calls it the golden path.
Yeah.
And you have your activation sequence that you move through, which takes you from your life's work down to your purpose, and you are shown your biggest life challenges through that, and your radiance, where if you can be in that gift, you radiate that energy to everybody, and that is where you magnetize people. Then you're holding this certain frequency that people are like, I resonate with that frequency. I want that. It's not, this new paradigm is not about what even you're selling anymore. It is your frequency.
It is a frequency thing now. It's about getting in alignment with your soul, listening to the soul talking to you inside of you. If you call that Gus, if you call it God, if you call it Creator, you do have to use your word for it now.
Yeah.
And you have to stop telling other people what they need to call it.
Yes.
You need to ask them, what do they call it?
Yeah.
Because they know in them.
Yes.
Whatever it is, they know what we're talking about. They know that feeling, they know that knowing, they know that sense of there is something in us that is rising, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger, because we are coming out of a need to be in fight or flight, and we are actually able to sit in our hearts now and connect to a frequency that potentially as a human species hasn't been able to happen for thousands of years, because there's so much fear that's been driven in our experience to prevent us from connecting to it. I got so many more questions than answers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Why has there been such a push to keep humans in fear? And why is it that something in us just keeps rising to meet that fear? You know?
Yes.
It's so cool.
It is.
It is so cool. So from your experience with, that being your path, and then what was it that how did you come across human design?
Well, it was about 2019, 2020, which we've talked about these dates quite a bit.
There was a significant shift energetically for humanity, end of 2018 and the start of 2019. A significant shift. Everyone in kind of my cohort back then, there's something coming, or there's a big change about to happen. Everyone was talking about this. It was like that was the end of a cycle.
Yes.
And the birth of a new. And I know that everyone kind of went, holy crap, this isn't what we expected.
Yes.
But I have to say, 5 years on, the significant shift in self-awareness within a collective now is huge.
Massive.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Like the questioning of the reality, the deepening of that connection to that sense of something rising in self has just gotten magnetic now.
Yeah.
And so there's another, I don't know if anyone else can feel it, but it's like there's another one about to happen.
Yeah, 2027, I can feel it.
So,
yes.
But yeah, so tell us. So in 2018, 2019,
I had my daughter, and I'd done my Reiki with Nat, my first Reiki, and I was trying to fall pregnant with another baby, and the era, or that first part of motherhood was quite difficult for me because I felt I had lost myself.
Yeah, which is such a thing that most mums,
yes,
like no one can prepare you.
No.
For when that baby is in your arms and how your entire life changes.
No, exactly.
And even though they'll tell you when you're pregnant, you don't hear it.
No, you don't. You cannot fathom it.
You don't. And you have to. It's like a rite of passage. You have to go through it yourself. And I think the lovely thing that a lot of people are realizing now is you don't have to do it on your own.
No, that's right.
Yet a lot of us, me included, did it on our own because we don't need help.
Yes. Yes.
But then that forces you to listen to that thing that's rising inside of you.
Yeah, it does.
So what happened?
It really does. So I was fighting to keep this version of myself that just was becoming further and further away from my reality of what was in front of me. And my sister actually put me on to human design, and I had my printout, my report that I got for quite a while before I actually sat with a cup of tea and a highlighter. I was like, I've carved out a couple of hours here. I'm just really going to look into this. And within the first 2 pages of reading, I was just bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, wow.
Because it was giving me permission for what I was feeling to be good with, because that's who I am here to potentially be, and it's the path of least resistance. And I was in tears. The things that I had been told from, my parents or peers, or things that would be said to me in quite a negative way, were actually my gifts.
Yeah, wow.
And when I could really embody that and see it as a gift, not as a detriment, everything started to shift. And I mean, it's taken years for me to truly embody and understand what it is. Ra talks about it being a lifetime experiment. It's a lifetime experiment, a lifetime experience. And then if we can just work with it and be aware of it and come back to it, and you start to then just the time between when you are in the parts of shadow, which is still totally amazing.
Well, the shadow's where we learn.
That's right, exactly.
There's no mistakes.
No, and it's accepting that.
Yeah.
That's been the huge part. Actually going, that part of me, I embrace you. I'm giving you the love and the energy that you've always needed, not trying to bury you down deep and push you away or think, no, I don't need to think that. That's okay. No, I think that, I feel that, and I embrace that, and then it can be transformed into its gift. And it's been a beautiful thing. And last year is where I was sitting with one of my dear friends, and I was actually talking about human design, because I was talking about my own, and then we looked at hers, and, you know, my eyes were lighting up just talking to her about it. And she sat back and just said, "You should see how lit up you are right now." And I was at that point working in a job because that's what I thought I needed to do. And also then we've got all these other things. We've got a building company, trying to do, you know, my husband needs help with his admin, all these other things that really weren't lighting me up. And yet I'm sitting here talking with my friend, and she is like, "You are magnetic right now. Yeah. Your frequency is just on fire. I want to know more. Tell me more." And it was in that moment there I actually quit my job. Ooh. And just went, I need to know more. I need to study this, because the hard thing about human design is it's not regulated.
Yeah.
There are people, I've got 3 different teachers right now doing 3 different certifications to make sure that my knowledge is broad and I can take in different perspectives and understand, because like we know it happened with the Bible, it all gets interpreted in a different way and then becomes not what it may have been.
Oh, it doesn't sound familiar to Reiki at all, Cass. Right? Because also, I mean, they've tried to regulate it, but it is unregulatable.
Yes.
Because it, like you said at the very beginning of this, it all comes down to your perception, your perspective, the way that you interpret the information when you read it, and how it's introduced to you, and then who introduces it to you, is more about that magnetic pull and the importance of following that than it is about whether the person is doing it right.
Exactly.
Because I actually don't believe in 100% pure right and 100% pure wrong.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, the only thing that is 100% pure right is that every single human that is living and breathing on the planet right now has free choice and free will.
Yes.
That's it. And you're here to do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yes.
If you want to be an evil bastard, you can.
Yes.
If you want to be a saint, you can.
Yes.
And the only thing that is preventing you from, you know, choosing that path is you.
Yes. Yes. That's it.
That's it.
Exactly.
So that to me is the only truth. Everything else is perception and perspective.
Open to your interpretation. That's right.
And so when we're, like you, have multiple Reiki teachers, because when I wanted to teach it, I wanted to know how other people taught it.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
And I think that's an important part about becoming a teacher is to know your subject.
Yes, that's exactly right. And understand the different ways that people see it. And then you can connect with different people on that different level. And then you can start to feel into, well, this is what really works for me, and hold that frequency. And then the people who actually need it the way that you're teaching it
will find you.
That's right.
Because you're magnetic.
Yes.
How exciting.
Yes.
So you've gone out, you've got multiple teachers now, you are creating something. Tell us about what you're creating.
Well, my website and the business, this is all
brand new.
It's all brand new. It's not even, the website is not even up yet. This all came through to me in a dream, and I've just responded to that, and I've taken aligned action toward that.
And then Nat's asked you to come on her podcast.
Yes.
Which you weren't really sure you wanted to do, but here we are.
Here we are. And it feels, my intention behind this is just so pure, and it is just so, I just want people to live in alignment with themselves, because that is where we're healthy. That is where we have beautiful relationships. That is where we connect with human beings on this level, if we can embody who we are and embrace and love who we are, who we were born to be, not do, but be, the world will be a better place. And that is my goal. Everybody living in alignment, in true, pure authenticity. And that is where we will thrive as a collective. When we are thriving personally, that is my goal. And so I'm just every single day, so I don't have a lot of time all the time to do things, but I'm trying to just take one aligned step toward this, and it's all just unfolding so beautifully.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling the fear of sitting here doing this, but I'm doing it anyway, and I'm responding to your invitation and just taking those little baby steps, because I don't know what the end looks like. And I'm guessing there's never going to be an end. Like, it's just a continual, beautiful flow of life. And
I'm pretty sure when the end is here, we won't be.
No, yes, right? Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm just taking each day and step as it comes and responding to each thing and feeling the emotions of all of it, let it happen and let it ride and just show up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Let energy, source, Gus, God, let it work its magic.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what are we calling your business?
The Embodiment Project.
The Embodiment Project. See how that just has a ring to it?
Yes, we can learn all we like. We know this as 5-1s. We can keep investigating, keep learning, but there comes a point where you need to take action. You need to embody.
You do.
What you are learning, and that is where the magic is. That's where we can actually make a difference in this world and make a difference in our little world and in our community, and that is by embodying our truth.
Yeah. Because we are like the stone in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And that ripple flows out.
It does. Yeah.
And it's catchy.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And every single person on the planet right now is trying to figure this stuff out in one way or another. And there is no right way. There's only the way that feels aligned for us as the individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's fascinating to me when I get to talk to different people. Why that? You know, because I know you've studied a whole bunch of different things, but this is the thing. I can see the light up in you, you know?
Yes, yeah.
And this is your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And I feel like it is because it came to me at a time where it just hit.
Yeah.
And so that desire just grew. And this is another thing, because I question all the time, you know, is this what I'm meant to be doing? And it's like, you know what? We are not given a desire that is not meant for us.
Exactly.
So go with it. You are given this for a reason. Yeah. And obviously the things that you've learned, the tools that you've learned, where you live, the groups you are around, there is a reason why this information or this human design business entity wants to be birthed through me.
Yeah.
There is a reason. I am holding that, and I need to get out of the way, because this is what it needs to do, and I just need to step aside and let it do its thing. I am the channel. I am the conduit. So just look out. Yes, get out of the way and let it come through.
Amazing. Look at you opening that throat. Letting it all come out.
It feels good.
I'm going to end this recording now.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on to this
Matt.
podcast. And even though I've definitely pushed a comfort zone, it was worthwhile, because just sitting here listening to your passion, I feel like people are going to get a lot out of this.
Thank you.
So when you're ready, I will have your information in the show notes so that people can access your website.
Yeah.
Give us the dream. What's the website going to do?
It will you will be able to put your birth details in, and it will spit out a report for you that will be what I've given Nat here, just a full...
It's actually very extensive.
Well, this is the minimum. It's 45 pages, and that will be the minimum of what it is.
Yeah,
so there
right.
will be more in there. I will have one that will be less, and there will be a free one in there too, where you will be able to get just basic information that you can start working with.
Yeah.
But I also will be opening up to consults to be able to have these conversations, look at where you might be finding block or challenge, and I will use my Reiki to find that too. I will be using all the different tools and things that I have for us to really work on specific situations or things in life. And I'm learning astrology, gene keys, and human design. So being able to incorporate all three has been pretty special.
Yeah.
But the gene key sequence is something, the golden path sequence is something that I've really resonated with through my learning. And so it's something that I would really love to share. And I will be working on what that looks like for people, whether
moving forward.
Yeah.
So if people were just at this point until your website's ready, if people want to connect with you, can I put your Instagram?
Yes, absolutely. We'll put the Instagram at the Embodiment Project.
Yeah.
And then I've got an email, info at embodimentproject.net as well.
Amazing.
I'm more than happy to have a cup of tea or coffee and sit and chat and look at it. Or if you want to actually do a session, I mean, I am qualified, yes. Reiki. I love frequency and energy. That's what I feel and work with. So we would just allow sessions to unfold as they unfold.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode and share it with someone that you love. Next week we speak with Tara Hegarty from tarahegarty.com and the Spirit Flow podcast. I'm really looking forward to sharing this episode with you. Tara is a wealth of knowledge, and when we get together we always have something interesting to discuss and talk about, but Tara in this episode goes deep into her personal journey, and it's a joy to be able to bring this to you all. The content found within these podcasts are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Nothing on this website is intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any physical or medical conditions. If you have any physical or medical conditions, you should seek the advice of your medical professional immediately.